The Fix is in. The Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by GV Art and Design. It's not just a shirt, it's a statement. GVArtwork.com.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix social media sites are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. Jump over to Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix, and become a fan today because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/TheSportsFixCLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Join the Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Hey Cleveland, this is Anderson Varejão of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You are listening to the Sports Fix.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Welcome in, everybody. We are live. And when I say live, I mean live as live can be across the entire spectrum that makes up the Sports Fix radio network. That's right. It took some figuring out. I don't even know. To be honest with you, I'm just making myself sound smart. They figured out whatever was wrong on their end. Yesterday, we had all kinds of behind-the-scenes drama going on. Only a few of you guys got to hear the show live. Many people had to listen in delay and whatever. You guys know. But I don't got to worry about that today. Everything's fixed. We're rocking and rolling across all the networks, ready to go. And today is the best day possible to have that going on because it's Thursday. And as you guys know, Thursdays on the Sports Fix, especially now that we're rolling into the winter sports season, have just gotten busier and busier and busier. And today, no exception to that whatsoever. Less than 15 minutes from now, the BSK Kendall Lewis is going to join us live as he does every Thursday. We'll talk some Browns football with him as the Brownies prepare to get back into action this week with the Tennessee Titans. And I guess it could be a trap game on either side there because really both teams desperate to come out of this one with a win. And as they say, the wounded, the desperate animals, those are the most dangerous ones and the hardest ones to kill. So we're going to talk about that with Kendall Lewis, the BSK, coming up here just a little bit from now. Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com going to be with us. They didn't win last night because they didn't play, but some baseball was played last night. Tell you what, no sympathy. I agree with my man Al Chimicella. Now, I'm not, going to go overboard on the other end of rubbing it in, but no sympathy here for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm glad you guys made where you made it and did what you did, and it's cool for the small market aspect of it, but nobody in Pittsburgh feeling bad that the Indians didn't make it. Nobody in Pittsburgh feeling bad about anything here, and I'm not going to reciprocate the favor the other way around. I didn't feel any great pleasure watching the San Francisco Giants smack them around last night, but I don't feel much sympathy for them either, except from the aspect really of being another smaller market franchise there that has to deal with the behemoths that surround them in Major League Baseball. We're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about the end of an Indian season with Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com, who has promised me that he's not going to run when we go to the phones. He's going to be here, and we're going to get at it. So Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com here to talk some baseball. And I'll tell you what, I'm not just saying this because he's my guy. If you guys don't follow DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com, subscribe to their RSS feed and get their articles because they do a great job, and already since the Indian season ended, they've done some great breakdowns, and they've got more to come on this season and what happened and then where you move forward. Really, I don't know of many guys out there that put the work in and it comes out the other end as good as Mike and his whole crew does there. So I'm telling you guys, check out DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com. If you're an Indians fan, it should definitely be in your bookmarks. But Mike's going to join us a little bit later from now, just about 12:45. Second hour, BJ Rudell, Fantasy Football for Winners. It's Thursday. It's time to get your lineups together. And I'm just saying, Larry Donnell probably wishes he would have listened to. Well, no, then again, I don't know if BJ Rudell knew what Larry Donnell was going to do, especially since Larry Donnell didn't know what he was going to do. Of course, referring to the guy who didn't play himself and then went bonkers in fantasy football. We'll talk about that story later on. BJ's going to be here to go through all the Week 5 action as it kicks off tonight and tell you who to sit and start. We'll look for some more sleepers, try to dig out those diamonds in the rough to help you ace the competition this week. BJ Rudell, Fantasy Football for Winners. We've got a Cavs scrimmage to talk about. You'd have thought it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, but it was actually practice against themselves. But excitement was downtown last night. Whew, man, nearly 17,000 cats went to check that thing out. But we'll talk about that in a moment. We'll open the show here talking about some Cavs. All of that set the stage for baseball. Division Series begins tonight. Your phone calls. Let's do it, baby. Welcome into the Sports Fix. I am your host, the conductor of all this madness that we do each and every weekday at noon here. The Sports Fix Radio Network. Across it, that's right, Jerry Myers, J-Rock. Call me what you want. And as I said, just call me. Happy to have you each and every day here with us on the show, in the chat room, across all the platforms, interactive, not just entertainment, not just sports talk. We put it all together, roll it into one beautiful, shiny package, and we call it the Sports Fix. By the way, real quick, I saw Charles Morgan in the corner there saying hi. Charles listens to the show every day, and he's one of those cats, him and Bruce Wood, a couple of other guys, they go meme crazy. They love to put those things together. Sure enough, a few hours after the show yesterday, we were talking, Dan Wismar and I, we were talking about the Indians logo, and I said, man, they should just take the Major League ball and blah, blah, blah. You guys were listening yesterday. I said, hey, here's how we could sell Chief Wahoo in a different package. Just take the face and move it over to a red baseball, move the feather over, anyways, the Major League ball that comes on the movie poster. Charles did it, put it together, sent it to me, and I said, there we go, man. I put it out there. I said, there's your new mascot for the Indians. No longer is it Chief Wahoo. He's now Wild Thing, the grinning red baseball with a feather as a throwback to its Indian heritage, and in the Major League vibe as a throwback to the most famous movie, one of the most famous baseball movies, and of course, big part of Indians history. And then you can nudge and wink to everybody and go, hey, that's not offensive at all. That is a completely innocuous red baseball that just happens to be smiling with a feather in his cap. Thank you very much. Thanks to Charles Morgan. But anyways, we put that out there. I saw some people. Actually, that thing started getting some traction last night. I saw some guys sharing it and sending it around throughout the Facebook world. So there you go. And thanks to Charles for doing that. But you guys are funny because I get those all the time. I'll talk about something, and then Charles, Bruce, these guys will send me a picture later on, and I'm like, that's wrong. Sometimes it's wrong, especially when they take my head and put it into stuff. I told you about that yesterday. It gets like scary looking because they'll just like find ways to Photoshop my head places that it has no business being. But that one yesterday was a creative use of that. Wild Thing. I'm telling you, man. You can keep the Chief and lose the PC police all at the same time, man. Just got brain power. And I'm telling you, I know some people in the Indians occasionally check out our show. I will be watching. Wild Thing. Actually, I don't get the rights to that either because Major League kind of beat me to that one. But I'm telling you, if I see the Chief become a red baseball, we got something to talk about here, fellas. I want some royalties. But anyways, welcome in, you guys, across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock with you guys here. Sports Fix Radio Network could mean you're listening on TuneIn and TuneIn's Radio app live. Maybe you're one of the group listening live on Spreaker, which is working and active today. Woohoo. All right. Got everything rolling there. As well, TuneIn. I guess the problems that we had yesterday, Spreaker and TuneIn, both live feeds were down, which is terrible because that's where a huge bulk of people listen to the show. So you guys, thank you for sticking with that, by the way. Welcome in if you're listening on Mixlr. I see my guys in the Mixlr chat room down there, mixlr.com. And, of course, everybody listening on the sportsfix.net, the one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports, and everybody around the world on digital delay on iHeartRadio. Thousands of you guys worldwide on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio provider. Those of you guys listening on SoundCloud and Spreaker, and of course iTunes, those of you that download and subscribe to us there, Stitcher Radio, CarPlay, all the other subscription formats as well. You guys, thanks so much once again for tuning in. Phone lines, they're really not going to be open until the end of the show, the tail end of the show. 216-539-7535 is the number when they are open, 216-539-7535. You can also hit us up on our social media on days like today where the phones are jammed. You can hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at the SportsFix, CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Again, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at the SportsFix, CLE, and email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. 5 minutes from now, we're going to hit the break. Kendall Lewis is going to be with us. I can't lie. I talked about my OCD yesterday. Now, I left my coffee next to the coffee pot, and I didn't start the show with it. For those of you guys that know me, you know that I practically need to put an IV to myself to this thing. I keep turning to the left and looking to reach for my cup of coffee as I'm doing the opening monologue here, and it's not there. And I'm like, take me out of my routine. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being with us. Quickly, before we go to the break, let's talk a little bit. Can't talk too much about this Cavs scrimmage last night, although I'm not joking. And I get the happiness, and sometimes, I got to separate the brush that you paint the fans and the media and different people, because there's different ways that people are supposed to approach things. Fans can go off the wall crazy. I mean, yeah, I talk about good fans and bad fans, but really, I mean, that's preference, and some people have different parameters that they drop people on, but that's fans, and fans are allowed to do what they want, whether you agree with the way they feel or not. When you get into the media, when you get into people that are more representative or supposed to present a more level way of looking at things, sometimes that strays from the fact. And I'll tell you, last night, I'm watching, looking up and down my Cavs Twitter feed as this scrimmage is going on last night, and I get the excitement. Listen, man, 17,000 fans, 17,000 of them, man, down there for a glorified practice. That's amazing. I mean, now granted, it was free, but still, that's a hell of a turnout, which shows you the excitement that was down there. Huge reaction when, LeBron James was introduced for the first time. I mean, it was so loud they couldn't hear the name announced over the loudspeakers, and that's all fine and well, and you guys know where I'm at on that part of things. We'll continue to work our way through the season and go Cavs and all that, and let's see what happens. But anyways, outside of the positive vibes about that, and I will say this, I like listening to David Blatt describe his thoughts on basketball. If you guys have listened to some of the interviews that he's done, not just last night, he only had a few things to say, but if you guys get a chance, listen to some of these lengthier interviews that Coach Blatt's done just in the beginning here. I really like his IQ for the game of basketball. I like his approach of things, and then just really, hey, I like Mike Brown too. I'm not the guy that now that Mike Brown's gone, gonna go, yeah. Because I saw some guys last night, and I'll tell you what, I personally felt like David Griffin took a couple of shots at the previous coaching in some of his comments on commentary last night, which it is what it is. But, I caught that. I don't know if any of you guys did. Just a couple of things that he pointed out in a way of making David Blatt look good, but you could also take it the other way, that he was taking some shots at Mike Brown and some of the coaching decisions from last year. I'm not that guy, and I don't blame everything that happened last year on Mike Brown. I'm 100% positive that whatever gets accomplished with this Cavaliers team, with this group of talent, I'll tell you what, Mike Brown could have accomplished it too. But then again, I think any competent coach should be able to, in the next few years, mold this group into something that's pretty potent, which you don't need a whole lot of molding when you've got that much of the natural talent, which is what you saw on display last night. Like, I'm watching it, right? And I'm looking, and as I'm watching, I've also got the Twitter feed open, and I'm looking at people's reactions to it. And I'm like, you would have thought that people weren't sure if any of these guys could play basketball, because people are just losing their shorts over, some decent. I mean, look, there was some great athleticism displayed, but I mean, it was worse than an all-star game as far as that value of it. This was to get the crowd hyped up, work on some stuff in front of a crowd, different things like that. But I'm watching, and I'm like, wow, okay, well, I mean, you kind of knew all these guys could play ball before. Now, I know the questions have nothing to do with what was answered last night. This team is going to be it's the NBA way to be the team that beats all the bums. That's what the good team